Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
Stellaris currently has an infinite resource glitch. Locked away behind some dusty shelves of authoritarianism, you can now get access to functionally infinite resources within the game. Without any further ado, let's dive in and find out just how broken Stellaris is now. The year is 2267, our economy looks perfectly healthy. And before you get a bit confused, yes, those numbers are correct. We are making literally millions of every resource every single month. This is the infinite resource glitch. And it is all thanks to our enforcers. Yes, the job that was broken when given to psionics gets even worse when you give it to a dictatorial cyber vision. These 4,300 enforcers are currently giving us plus 14,978,645% additional jobs on every single planet. That means that one pop is worth roughly 150,000 pops. Okay. This bonus is thanks to the dictatorial cyber vision, advanced cybernetic government you get if you go down the individualist path. Each of our enforcers increases, according to the tooltip, resources from cyborg pops by 2.5%. That's not true, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it gives us job efficiency of plus 2.5%. But Montu, I hear you ask, how on earth have we gotten up to 15 million% additional job efficiency with only 4,300 pops? This should be closer to plus 110% job efficiency from pops. Why is the number so high? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the strongest force in the universe, compound interest. Basically, there's a big old bug here where the game is miscalculating our job efficiency. You see, this is a geometric series, or actually, sorry, it's a power series, where once we get over 100% job efficiency, we get this reinforcing cycle of additional job efficiency being calculated every single month. I just let the month tick over here and we've gone up to plus 16 million%. And this of course means that every single resource is just utterly maxed out. I need to thank Joss and a number of commenters on yesterday's video for bringing this little bug within dictatorial cybervision to my attention. You can play this build basically in any way you'd like, as long as you're able to end up on a dictatorial government authority, meaning you cannot be any degree of egalitarian, and you're able to take the cybernetic ascension. Those are the two key elements that give you access to this fantastically broken bug. For a little bit of thematic fun, I've gone with oppressive autocracy and police state. Police state is giving us a little bit more unity from our enforcers, and oppressive autocracy forces us into a dystopian society. But basically, as long as you don't go egalitarian, you could pick any authority and any civics you'd like. When it comes to our origin, I've gone with hard reset, because this one's going to give us some of the fastest access to the cybernetic ascension that we've got, alongside integrated weaponry, which grants us an additional plus 20% job efficiency for enforcer jobs. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to stack with dictatorial cybervision to give us additional efficiency on top of this efficiency. It's basically a runaway freight train. Maths is fun, kids. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this video and you'd like to get your hands on Stellaris Biogenesis, or anything from the Paradox store, you can do that and also support this channel by using our link or the code MONTUPLAYS at your checkout. When you dive in and start the game, you'll probably want to switch to something like Isolationist. Getting your monthly unity up is definitely a good idea. Information Quarantine giving you a bit more stability will also help you along. Then I'd recommend you start with Mercantile, moving into the adaptive economic policies so you can take Marketplace of Ideas to further boost your Unity game. Then as your very first Ascension perk, when you've completed Mercantile, you can take The Flesh is Weak. As soon as you do that, no matter which agenda you are in the middle of taking, you should switch over to the Flesh is Weak agenda. As long as we fire this after we've researched powered exoskeletons, which hopefully you can roll quite early on, you're going to get access to integrated cybernetics. As soon as you have this, you should use all of the Unity that you've of course been saving because you didn't pick a second tradition, and take cybernetics. Moving down, first and foremost, to the Augmentation Center bonus to get more augmenters, because that will give you some more engineering research. and then completing it wherever you can. Currently, no matter whether or not you own Machine Age, The Flesh is Weak is a project you will have to complete by spending engineering research on. Chuck down an augmentation center, make sure to get more engineers, and try and complete this as quickly as possible. Once you've fully cybernetically ascended and completed the Future Shock event chain, as long as you've gone down the individualist path, taking the individualist decisions, you'll get access to dictatorial cybervision. This is not only going to boost our Unity initially, but also give us quite a big bonus to these Enforcer jobs. Let's wait for the month to tick over and everything to update. There we are. We are currently with 700 Enforcers at a total of 45% job efficiency. This is good, but currently this power series is convergent. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at some mathematics. And if you're enjoying this video, please mutilate the memory of that like button. What is going on with this job efficiency? Well, the game is basically calculating that there are a certain number of enforcers granting job efficiency, which creates more enforcers, which then grant more job efficiency. As long as your total number of pops working the enforcer job remains below 4,000, this geometric series equation will hold true. This will hold true because x will be less than 1. 1 here representing plus 100% job efficiency from our base pops, and that is reached because each 100 enforcers grants plus 2.5% job efficiency at a total of 4,000 enforcer pops. Once we hit that 4,000 magic number, every time the game works out how many more free pops and jobs to give us, that number is higher than the previous time and no longer converges. Below 4,000 pops or 100% extra job efficiency from pop jobs, it was converging, meaning that even though the total may have been above 100%, it wouldn't increase every single month. It would eventually increase by fractional amounts that could be ignored. Now that we're above 4,000 pops, it no longer converges at a single number. The formula's broken, in fact. The left-hand side can be thrown away. Now it's just 1, which is 100% job efficiency, plus x, which is plus 100% job efficiency, which is 1, plus x squared, which is now greater than 1, plus x cubed, which is now greater than 1, again 1 being 100%, and this goes on forever and ever and ever. We've basically gone postal. And once you go over that 4,000 workforce limit, you just need to sit on it forever, and every single resource you have, assuming your economy is balanced. At the moment, I'm making just a few too little in the way of consumer goods. I should grab in a few more artisans to try and balance that off. And now that it's balanced, as long as you remain positive on your resource outputs, the enforcers will keep stacking their bonuses again and again to create more and more enforcers, which then stack their bonuses again to create more of these fake enforcers. It's kind of like virtual but on overdrive, I suppose, and it in essence gives you an infinite resource glitch. You're going to have so much research that eventually you will be limited no longer by actual research output, but the fact you can research a maximum of one technology at a time, and it only calculates if the technology is finished at the end of the month, meaning that yes, every month we're going to be researching one technology. And this bug can get up to some absolutely crazy numbers. To hit that 4,000 enforcer limit, you will need to research colonial centralization and grab the Hall of Judgment alongside getting access to volatile motes somehow. Once you have those, you can turn one of your city district specializations into an urban district, granting you 3 more slots for Halls of Judgment, which is why we've got a total of over 4,000 here. And then in order to make sure you're producing every resource you need, you can, once you've researched the level 2 society, physics, and engineering specialization technologies, unlock the research support specializations for your energy, mineral, and agriculture districts. This gives you access to not just the basic resource job, but also the research job. Of course, with police state and dictatorial cybervision, we're getting all of our unity from our enforcers. I've got some mixed industries, so I have some artisans and metallurgists. But from here on out, the game is basically won. It is functionally impossible to lose. it is important to note that eventually you're going to run into an overflow issue where your total number of pop jobs actually overflows the numerical value the game can save, and then you're back to square one. But luckily, because we have over 4,000 enforcers, the cycle will just repeat again and again and again. And because we've maxed out our resources, it's not a problem when we run into these little gullies waiting for our efficiency to jump back up to the moon. For those of you that are curious, I have been assured by the developers that this bug is known and is going to be nerfed. Enforcers should not apparently be increasing their own job efficiency because it can lead to hilarious situations like this, where your economy literally becomes a runaway freight train. Until this hilarious bug gets fixed, dictatorial cyber vision is the most powerful thing in Stellaris. If you enjoyed this video on the infinite resource glitch in Stellaris, but you'd like to know about a more balanced ascension path that is actually playable and doesn't break the game, you might want to know more about the new genetic ascension. If you do, click the video on screen now.